we're about to start match 3. If you weren't here for match 1 and 2, they were both won by the Conquerors. All right, and it is the Conquerors versus Wildcats. And again, just to remind you, this is 2 sets. It's not best 2 out of 3. So if there is a tie, it's just going to go into a tie. And then there will also be pool play tomorrow, and that's going to determine what division each team gets placed in. And then also, it's the first to 25. There is no 2-point ahead rule with today and tomorrow. All right, and starting off for the serve is number 3 for the Wildcats. All right, number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting for a tip. All right, that's a tip by number 3, Allie Whiting, puts the first point on the scoreboard, 1 serving 0. All right, serving number 3, Allie Whiting. Allie's a sophomore this year at West Florida Baptist Academy. All right, number 3 is going to send it over to number 5. All right, a back set by number 3, Allie Whiting, and it goes into the net by number 23, Maddie Whiting. And serving number 6 for the Wildcats. And it's out of bounds on the serve, a point for the Conquerors. Serving number 18, Emily Minter, 2 serving 1. And a save by number 18, Emily Minter, sent over by number 22, Holly Hartman, but it's out of bounds. It goes to the Wildcats, 2 serving 2. And it doesn't pass the net by the Conquerors, a point for the Wildcats. All right, serving number 2. All right, serving number 2 for the Wildcats. All right, a tip by number 3, Allie Whiting. Number 1's going to send it to number 10 for an attack. A save by number 3, Allie Whiting, and over by number 23, Maddie Whiting. All right, and serving for the Conquerors is number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson. All right, number 3 is going to set it to number 1 for a spike. It is saved by number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson, but out of bounds by the Conquerors. It goes to the Wildcats. All right, serving for the Wildcats is number 1. All right, number 13 is going to send it to number 3 for an attack, and it hits the ground by number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson on the Conquerors. All right, 6-3, a 3-point lead by the Wildcats. And that's an attack by number 3 on the Wildcats. 7 serving 3, and serving number 1. And number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for an attack by number 23, Maddie Whiting. And number 1's going to set it to number 3 for an attack on the Wildcats side. A save by number 10, sent over to the Conquerors side. A push by number 3, Allie Whiting, for the Conquerors. Number 1 sends it to number 5. And a back set by number 3 to the Wildcats side. And it hits the ground by the Conquerors. A point for the Wildcats, 8-3. Wildcats in the lead by 5 points. Again, this is set number 1. And the Conquerors are going to call the first timeout of the set. All right, serving number 1 for the Wildcats. Serving number 1. All right, number 23, Maddie Whiting sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for an attack by number 15, Sarah Spade. It is returned with an attack by number 3. And number 1, the Barrow, Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for a set to number 15, Sarah Spade, for a tip. And that's a point for the Conquerors, 4-8. Serving number 23, Maddie Whiting. Maddie is a senior this year at West Florida Baptist Academy. And number 1 sends it to the Conquerors by a tip, but the point does go to the Conquerors. Serving number 23, Maddie Whiting, 5, serving 8. Wildcats still have their 3-point lead. All right, number 5 is going to send it to number 1. We send it over to number 3. And hit over by number 15, Sarah Spade. Number 6 sends it to number 1, send to number 10 for a spike. And it's a point for the Conquerors, 6-8. Serving number 23, Maddie Whiting. All right, and number 2 is going to send it to number 1 to send over to the Conquerors side. And a set by number 23, Maddie Whiting, to number 1, the Barrow, Alyssa Johnson, to send it over to the Wildcats side. And that's an attack by the Wildcats. 9 serving 6, serving number 13 for the Wildcats. All right, serving number 13. And number 18, Emily Minter, sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, to set to number 22, Hallie Hartman. And number 1 sets it to number 3. 22 sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, to set to number 15, Sarah Spade, for an attack. And it goes to the Conquerors, 7-9. Serving number 22, Hallie Hartman. A 2-point lead by the Wildcats. All right, number 1's going to set it to number 5. Number 13 is going to set it to number 3 to send over to the Conquerors side. Number 1, the Barrow, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting. To set to number 3, Allie Whiting. It does go back to the Conquerors side. All right, and an attempted attack by number 3 for the Conquerors hits the net. A point for the Wildcats. 7 serving. 10 serving 7, 7-10. Serving number 10. And number 1, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, to go over by number 15, Sarah Spade. Number 1 sends it to number 2. All right, number 23, Maddie Whiting, for a set to number 18, Emily Minter, and hits the net. Point for the Wildcats. Serving number 10. All All right, number 18, Emily Mentor sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, sent over to number 3, Allie Whiting. All right, number 1 sets it to number 6, and it hits the ground by the Conquerors, a point for the Wildcats. 12 serving 7, serving number 10. And number 18, Emily Mentor sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, for an attempted kill, but it hits the net by number 18, Emily Mentor. Serving number 10 for the Wildcats. All right, currently a 7-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 10 for the Wildcats. And it is in by the Conquerors, 8 serving 14. Still a 6-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 15, Sarah Spade. All right, number 1's going to set it to number 2 for an attack. It is returned by number 18. All right, we're going to see an attack by number 23, Maddie Whiting, and that's a point for the Conquerors, 9-14. Serving number 15, Sarah Spade for the Conquerors. And an attack by number 2, sent back over by number 18, Emily Mentor. And number 1's going to set it to number 3 for an attack. And that's a point for the Wildcats. Serving for the Wildcats is number 3. All right, serving number 3 for the Wildcats, and number 22, Holly Hartman, sends it over to number 14, Janelle Riley. An attack by number 2 sends it over to the Conquerors side. And a return attack by number 3, Allie Whiting. All right, an attack by number 13, sends it over to the Conquerors side. A save by number 3, Allie Whiting, hit over to the Wildcat side. Number 3 is going to set it to number 1. And it hits the ground by number 23, an attempt to save it. And it goes to the Wildcats. 16 serving 9. Serving number 3. And it's out of bounds by number 18, Emily Mentor. Serving number 9. Serving number 3. And that's an ace for the Wildcats by number 3 on the first touch. Serving number 3. And number 23, Maddie Whiting, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting. 13 sends it to 3 to send to number 8 for an attack. And that's a kill by number 13 on the Wildcats. Serving number 3. A 10-point lead by the Wildcats. All right, number 22, Hallie Hartman, sends it to number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson. And sent over by number 3, Allie Whiting. Number 3 sends it to number 1. And it's a point for the Wildcats, 20-9. Serving number 3. All right, number 22, Hallie Hartman, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, sent over by number 18, Emily Mentor. And it doesn't pass the net, a point for the Wildcats. And a timeout by the Conquerors. Second timeout of the set. We'll be back shortly for the rest of set number 1. All right, we're back, and serving for the Wildcats is number 3. Number 23, Maddie Whiting, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, to set to number 14, Janelle Riley. And number 3 sends it to number 2. 22, Holly Hartman, sends it to number 18, Emily Minter. And it's a point for the Conquerors, a kill by number 18, Emily Minter. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. 10 serving 21. And number 3 is going to back set it to number 6, but it hits the net, a point for the Conquerors. 11-21, still a 10-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. And number 1 sends it to number 3 to set to number 1 for an attack. And it gets out of bounds by number 3, Allie Whiting on the Conquerors, a point for the Wildcats. Serving number 5 for the Wildcats. And out of bounds by number 22, Holly Hartman on the first touch. An ace for number 5. Serving number 5 for the Wildcats. Number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, for a tip. And a return tip by number 1 on the Wildcats. Sent over by number 14, Janelle Riley, and out of bounds by the Wildcats. Out of bounds by number 10, a point for the Conquerors. 12 serving 23. Serving number 18, Emily Minter. All right, number 6 is going to send it to number 3 to back set to number 2 for a push. And the point does go to the Conquerors. 12 goes to 13, so 13-23. Serving number 18, Emily Minter. And number 3 sends it to number 13 for an attack. It is returned by number 18, Emily Minter, sent by number 3, Allie Whiting, to number 22, Holly Hartman. And an attack by number 1. Number 10 sends it to number 3 to set to number 2, and it goes to the net on the Wildcats. A point for the Conquerors, 14-23. Number 18, Emily Minter, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, to attack by number 22, Holly Hartman, and another attack by number 2 on the Wildcats, 24-14. And serving for set point, number 2. All right, number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for an attack. And it goes to the net by the Wildcats, a point for the Conquerors. 15-24, still a 9-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson. All right, number 3 is going to set it to number 1 for a push. And it's a point for the Conquerors, for the Wildcats by number 1. 25-15. All right, we'll be back shortly for set number 2. right, we're back for set number 2. If you weren't here for set number 1, it was won 25-15 Wildcats. Starting off with the service, number 3, Allie Whiting. Number 3 is going to set it to number 23 for an attack. And the first point goes to the Conquerors. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. All right, the first point does go to the Conquerors, 1 serving 0. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. And number 22, Hallie Hartman sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, to set to number 18, Emily Minter. And it hits the net by the Wildcats, a point for the Conquerors. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. And number 14 attacks it and sends it to the Wildcat side, and that's a point for the Conquerors. 3 serving 0, still serving number 3, Allie Whiting. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting for the Conquerors. And it's short, it hits the net, it goes back to the Wildcats. 1 serving 3. Again, if you weren't here for set number 1, it was won 25-15 Wildcats. And serving number 3, and it goes out of bounds by the Conquerors. It goes back to the Wildcats. 2 serving 3. Conquerors still securing their 1-point lead. Serving number 3 for the Wildcats. All right, number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, for a tip by number 18, Emily Minter. Serving number 18, Emily Minter for the Conquerors. All right, serving number 18. All right, it is short, it hits the net, it goes to the Wildcats. All right, serving number 5 for the Wildcats. Number 22, Hallie Hartman sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for a push to the other side, but it does hit the net. Point for the Wildcats. 4 serving 4, it's now tied. If you weren't here for set number, or match number 1 and 2 of the previous matches, they were both won by the Conquerors. All right, number 3 sends it to number 22, Hallie Hartman. All right, sent over by number 1 to the Conqueror side, and we're going to see an attack by number 23, Maddie Whiting, but it's out of bounds. It goes to the Wildcats. Wildcats in the lead by 1 point. All right, serving number 5 for the Wildcats. Number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for a set to number 23, Maddie Whiting. And it hits the net by the Wildcats, a point for the Conquerors. Serving number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson. Number 5 is going to send it to number 3. It's sent over by number 8 to the Conqueror side. Put over by number 22, Hallie Hartman. And number 3 sets it to number 14 for a push. Number 18, Emily Minter sends it over to number 15, Sarah Spade, sent over to the Wildcat side. All right, and an attack by number 1 on the Wildcats. Number 23, Maddie Whiting, sets it to number 22, Hallie Hartman. And it hits the net, it goes back to the Wildcats. 6-5, 1-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 2 for the Wildcats. All right, and number 1 sends it to number 3 for a push. Number 3, Allie Whiting, sends it to number 23 to set to number 15, Sarah Spade. And number 15, Sarah Spade, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, but it hits the net, a point for the Wildcats. 7 serving 5, serving number 2. All right, number 1, libero, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for an attack by number 15, Sarah Spade. but it's out of bounds. It goes to the Wildcats. Serving number 2 for the Wildcats. All right, number 23, Maddie Whiting sends it out of bounds, and it goes back to the Wildcats. 9 serving 5. A 4-point lead by the Wildcats. And serving number 2. All right, number 3 is going to set it to number 1 for an attack. Number 3, Allie Whiting sets it to number 22, Hallie Hartman. All right, number 3, Allie Whiting sends it to number 15, Sarah Spade. And it's a point for the Conquerors by number 15, Sarah Spade. 6 serving 9. A 3-point lead by the Wildcats. Serving number 23, Maddie Whiting. Maddie is a senior this year at West Florida Baptist Academy. All right, number 3 is going to set it to number 10. All right, and an attack by number 3, Allie Whiting for the Conquerors, sent over by number 2 on the Wildcats. Number 23, Maddie Whiting, sends this number 3, Allie Whiting for an attack. And out of bounds by number 3, Allie Whiting. 10 serving 6. All right, serving number 1 for the Wildcats. And number 23, Maddie Whiting sends it to number 22, Hallie Hartman. And it goes to the Wildcats. 11 serving 6. Serving number 1 for the Wildcats. And another one for the Wildcats, 12 serving 6. Serving number 1 for the Wildcats. All right, and the second timeout by the Conquerors. Currently, there's a 6-point lead by the Wildcats. And serving for the Wildcats is number 1. Number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson, sends it to number 10 for an attack. There is a counter attack by number 15, Sarah Spade. A push by number 13, but it hits the net. A point for the Conquerors. 7-12. And serving number 22, Hallie Hartman. Hallie is a freshman this year at West Florida Baptist Volleyball. Serving number 22. All right, number 23 back sets it to number 3, Allie Whiting. All right, number 1 sets it to number 3 for a tip, and that's a tip by the Wildcats. By number 3, 13 serving 7. Still securing their 6-point lead is the Wildcats. Serving number 13, and out of bounds by number 1, the barrel, Alyssa Johnson. 14 serving 7. Still serving number 13 for the Wildcats. All right, 15 serving 7, and serving is the Wildcats. All All right, number 1's going to set it to number 5 for an attack, but it is returned by the Conquerors to number 1. All right, number 23, Maddie Whiting sets it to number 3, Allie Whiting, to send to number 15, Sarah Spain, but it does hit the net by number 15. Serving number 13 for the Wildcats. Serving number 13. 16 serving 7. Still a 9-point lead by the Wildcats. If you weren't here for set number 1, it was won by the Wildcats. It was 25-15. And right now is serving number 13 for the Wildcats. 17 serving 7. All right, and hit over by number 15, Sarah Spade with the tip. It is returned by Wildcats, but it does drop to the ground by the Conquerors. A point for the Wildcats. All right, and tonight the divisions will be posted for who everyone plays tomorrow, but no one is going to know their bracket play until tomorrow night, and so that will be announced. All right, serving number 13 for the Wildcats, 19 serving 7. Number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting for a tip, but it does hit the net. Serving number 13 for the Wildcats. All right, serving number 13. Number 18, Emily Minter sends it to number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson, send it over to number 22, Hallie Hartman. All right, an attack by number 3 is returned by a push. Number 3, Allie Whiting. All right, number 22, Hallie Hartman sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting. And some miscommunication between number 3 and number 1 on the Conquerors. Both did go for the attack at the same time. So that is a point for the Wildcats. Serving number 13, 21 serving 7. A 14-point lead by the Wildcats. All right, an attack by number 18, Emily Minter. And it hits the ground by number 15, Sarah Spade. Number 3 does attempt to save it, but it does go out of number 15's reach. All right, and that's the second timeout this set for the Conquerors. 22 serving 7. All right, serving number 13 for the Wildcats. And number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson sent it to the ground in an attempt to save it. Serving number 23, or sorry, number 13, 23 serving 7. Serving number 13. All right, number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson sends it to number 23, Maddie Whiting, to send over by number 18, Emily Minter. And number 1 back sets it to number 5. Sent over by number 15, Sarah Spade. All right, and an attack by number 10, returned by number 23, Maddie Whiting, set by number 22, Hallie Hartman for a return attack. All right, and number 3 sends it over to the Wildcats side. Number 1 sets it to number 3 for an attack. And number 23 back sets it to number 3, Allie Whiting. And that's a kill by number 3, Allie Whiting for the Conquerors. Going in for number 1, libero Alyssa Johnson, is number 14, Janelle Riley. Janelle is a sophomore this year. And serving number 15, Sarah Spade. All right, and it's out of bounds. Going in for number 15, Sarah Spade, is number 1, Libero, Alyssa Johnson. Serving for match point is number 10, and the serve does hit the net. It goes back to the West Florida Baptist Conquerors. Serving number 3, Allie Whiting. Serving number 3. All right, number 10 is going to send it to number 1. And number 2 setting up for an attack. Number 18, Emily Minter, returns it to the Wildcats side. Number 18, Emily Minter sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for a push. It is returned back by number 22, Hallie Hartman. All right, number 18, Emily Minter sends it to number 3, Allie Whiting, for an attack by number 23, Maddie Whiting. All right, number 1 is going to send a return attack to the Conquerors side. All right, number 3 is going to back set it to number 18, and the point does go to the Wildcats. All right, and that is match 25-9. All right, thank you for tuning in for these previous 3 matches, and we will see you tomorrow.